Today, how do I create a basic sales plan for web design? How do I balance sales and actually doing the work? I really hate sales. I'm not good at sales. Sales is a dirty word. I've heard all of these and more. Today, I'm going to share with you a visual and fun way to plan for your sales. Stick around, watch us work. Welcome to episodio número 13 of This Week in Web Design. I'm your host, Jose Caballer. Actually, my middle name is Abraham. Jose Ibrahim Caballer. I'm the Chief Education Officer of the school. Today, I am joined, as always, by
Ari
Gimon. Yay! 150 years of experience in the world of web design. So Ari, we have a very exciting topic today, and I just really am itching to just get into it.
Cool.
How are you? How's things going?
Just busy, man. You know, just it's a good time. There's a lot of work out there. Seems like things are getting better.
You're crazy busy. So you have an advanced sale episode that we need to come up with. All right. So here it is again. Today we're gonna talk about how do I create, big title card, a basic sales plan for web design. Here are the three questions that we're gonna answer. What are the core basics of sales? How do I design a basic sales system? And how do I do it on a consistent, ongoing basis over and over again? If you're joining us for the first time, if you've been living under a rock and this is the first time you see the show, you know we help you accelerate your web design career by teaching you creative, business, technology, and marketing secrets from our experts, myself with 15 years of experience, Ari with 150 years of experience. If you're looking for just technical tutorials, you just want to know X, Y, Z, please, and you don't want to hear this jackass talking, you can go to lynda.com, or you can go to teamtreehouse.com, which is also very awesome, and one of our media partners, howdesignuniversity.com, which is awesome. Now, if you're one of the following folks, if you're a student and you're looking to get a job, to really learn what it's all about, if you're a freelancer and you're looking to make your job more efficient and your projects go better and make more money. If you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to start a business, Roberto, the entrepreneur. Or if you're a career switcher, which is one of my favorite profiles of you guys, the viewers. You're going from another job from legal to web design, which is crazy. But you want to do something more fun. The show is for you. This is who the show is for. And now I'm going to breathe, and we're going to bring up some classical music. And we're going to talk about one of my favorite things in the world, which is Chrometa. We do time boxing, which is we time the show. Every segment is timed, and that is brought to you by Chrometa. You do not see or hear a timer. It's automatic. It just happens. I get a little prompt to move on to the next thing. Go to app.chrometa.com, app.chrometa.com. Download it and try it out now. Like if you use Chrometa?
All the time. I was just organizing my hours before the show, just seeing the range of how many hours I had spent with a particular client, which is awesome.
And it's like money, money, money. Awesome. So let's start sprint one, Ari, the basics. During the basics, we do a quick 5-minute overview of the entire basics, or básico in el español, and in Chinese. Sometimes we hear it, sometimes we don't. But there it is. In Chinese also, the new title card. We need to add some more languages. Oh, there it is. Play it again. Play the Chinese again.
基础.
There you go. All right. So, Ari, the basics are very simple. Let's start out with the first one. What are the basics of sales? And here's what are the core basics? The core. At the level of just the simplest core of it. Here they are. Answers. Know your customers and what value you deliver to them really well. This is the most important thing. Systemize that delivery of value so that you can do it over and over again, and really have a goal. Have some set goals and try it out for an amount of time to see if what you're doing actually works. Time is an extremely important aspect of it. Second, how do I design a basic sales system? The answers to that are, number one, put it on paper. Make it visual and fun. It's not sales. It's sharing your value. Sharing. I can't even pronounce that because English is my second language. Sharing. Does that make sense, Ari? It's just sharing your value.
Absolutely.
Sales is a horrible word. Illustrate key activities, value that you provide, customer interactions, and customer types. Illustrate that whole ecosystem of what you're doing, what you're providing value-wise, who you're doing it for, and what are the interactions like with your customer, the different customer types. Illustrate that for yourself and put it on a calendar, just like if you're doing P90X or whatever workout routine you do. My workout routine is called the couch. TV. Put it on the calendar and check off the activities every day and every week, and check yourself before you wreck yourself. That sounds horrible.
No, but that's a really good point. It's consistency, right?
It's consistently doing it over again, over and again, over again. So finally, how do I do it on an ongoing basis? Talking about consistency. How do I do it on an ongoing basis? Which is the toughie. This is a question that people asked on the Facebook, which is, well, I'm doing the projects, but then on top of it, I have to be selling. How do I do that? How do I dedicate time to sales activity? And that's what I call the freelancer's dilemma. So here are the answers to that. Spend time on it. It's 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be a lot of time. 30 minutes planning and scheduling every week. Hey, use an egg timer for that, even though I don't recommend using an egg timer for the show. Use Chrometa for that. Use it for your planning. Track it visually. I am super ADD. I need to see things visually. So today I'm going to share with you some visual tools for this. Finally, the results. Measure the results. How many leads are you getting a month? How many of those leads are you actually converting into clients? Right. Just measure it. Simple as that. Hey, what are the numbers? And that doesn't have to be in a complicated sales system or Salesforce.com or something like that. It could just be on a piece of paper, or it can be in a Google Doc, or it can be in an Excel spreadsheet or numbers. Just somewhere where you're doing it. I like to put it visually, so we have Idea Paint in the office, and you have just basically the whole thing there.
Right.
Here are the leads, etc.
And we've said it a couple times too. Like, if you really hate doing this, like, try to partner up with somebody who really likes being out there and who really likes, just mingling with people and socializing.
Or use social media. I mean, that's one of the biggest things, and we're going to talk about that today. I mean, I think that sales being a dirty word is because people don't really understand the true nature of it. I'm great at sales, not because, well, I am obnoxious, but because I share my experience a lot. What's made me great at sales is education.
You communicate well.
Exactly.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's what it is.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's really about their ability to articulate. And today we're going to help you put together a framework for that. And I just want to say this very clearly. I spent a lot of time on this show today because this is something that a lot of people struggle with, and that I hear from a lot of people, especially creative people. Now, if you've done the FIDO assessment, again, if you don't know what the FIDO assessment, Google it, FEDO assessment. You kind of can gauge what type of, you're dorky flaky, I think, right? Is that right? Flaky dorky?
Yeah.
So yeah, you're not going to be out there at every event. But you went to an event the other day, right?
Right. And something came out of it, right there.
You're working on the project right now, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's an awesome project, too.
It's an awesome project, too. It was like the most random thing, but the point is,
you
just have to, random in how it came to me, right?
Like, you showed up to an event and somebody met you.
Right.
And you're badass.
Right.
What else is there to it? Was it painful?
It was not painful.
Did somebody violate you while you were there?
Not that I
No, that was wrong. Wait, this show's PG. That's not what I meant. You mean, doesn't happen, right?
No, it was really simple. It was just a simple, friendly conversation with somebody, and just an introduction was made, and that was it.
There you go.
But it started with just showing up.
Showing up. That's half the battle. Here's the sales system. Show up somewhere. All right, so let's go to the next sprint, to sprint 3, which is the example section, and now let's get really into it. I'm going to share with you an example of what I put together for you and what we're going to do today. Ejemplo en el español. In Chinese?
Funny.
Funny. I'm going to have to learn these by the end of the show. Funny. All right. It's brought to you by GoDaddy. Use code WEB40 and get 10% off $10 actually off a $40 purchase. And people talk about oh, God damn it, there's so much sponsors and sponsoring. Look, we have to pay the bills, and there's people that are putting the show together every week. So go use GoDaddy. I use GoDaddy. You use GoDaddy.
Just use GoDaddy.
Use GoDaddy. Give GoDaddy some love. Use the code. We're giving you $10. So it's not really about, hey, GoDaddy's our sponsor. It's about, hey, we're giving you $10. All righty. So Michelle, help me time this through it, because we're going to go through a lot. And let's bring up my screen to get started. So what I put together for you guys is a visual sales plan. And here's what it looks like. You can see a little truck there, meaning value delivery system. That's what this is. So the visual sales plan, a Savvy workbook, and Savvy stands for simple.
How come it's tilted like that?
Actionable, visual, and interactive. I tilted it on purpose.
Cool.
All right. Let's keep on moving through this. Here we go. So the first thing is really identifying your customers really well. And here's the next. You're going to be able to do this exercise here. Who are your customers? Similar to the user profiles. Put a little picture of them. Here I put an example. This example is for AIGA LA, which is a nonprofit professional organization for designers in Los Angeles, and here are the different member types that we are selling to as an organization. So you have the executive, and this is based on a real executive at one of the large entertainment companies here in line. He's 42, married, makes 100 and some K, has been at Disney for 15 years. He 8 years, manages 12 designers, and that's his story, and that's his demographic. What is it that he really wants as a goal? He wants to keep his job. He wants to get digital. He wants to learn more. He's been working in a non-digital environment, let's say something else. Thank you, Michelle. And he wants to train and grow his team. He's a manager. So he needs inspiration, digital strategy, design management, speakers, and peers to help him get through what he's going through. Second, what is the value that you provide to them? What value do I provide to that person, to Bill Jones, the executive at an entertainment company? The value, and values basically take what's in your needs right here at the end, at the bottom of this, and then go over here and put it in the first quadrant there of the value. Provide inspiration, teach digital strategy, discuss design management, provide a peer group. That's basically it. Whatever the needs are that help them meet their goals, what your value that you're providing is that. So if somebody needs a website, really, they don't need a website. They have a goal of marketing their product, of generating online sales.
It's a means to an end.
It's a means to an end. So you really need to identify that motivation. Then the vibe, professional, simple, fun, authentic, creative. And finally, here at the end, what are the vehicles under which you're going to actually deliver that? So after the vibe, the vehicles are things like events, email blasts, blog posts, Facebook. Let's identify all the things that you're going to be using. Okay, so next is articulate the delivery system. And this is really important, and this is actually from a great book on business model design. And this is only an excerpt. I actually took it from that. At the top, you see there, what are the activities? What is the value that you're providing? And then what is the relationship you're forming with your customer? And at the end, you have the column for the customer. I'm starting to color code these so that I can track it a little bit better. But for example, in the relationship, you want to build an online relationship because in this case, this guy's busy. You want to send him a monthly newsletter. You want to connect in small peer groups. It's going to be better than him showing up to a really big event where he can get more one-to-one, and also panels where he sees other professionals and peers. Does that make sense, Ari?
Absolutely.
So that's where you're going to form the relationship. It's not, in this case, it's not going to be like a hands-on day-to-day.
It's interesting because it's the same process of user and brand definition that we go through with the clients, but as applied to your business.
By the way, and all my research about the formal aspects of sale is the same thing as a user experience process. You've heard it if you know lean as customer development. Same thing, different words for it. All right, so finally, I'm just going to gloss this over here. I'm not going to go into details. Really talk about and identify the vehicles in this slide here. Basically, what's the value, but then really, what are the things you're going to do in social media, in blog, and at events? Write those out, articulate them across all of the different customer types, right? So that you know what are the activities you need to be doing for each of those, and choose which ones are priorities. Finally, this here in the last 20, 30 seconds, extremely important, and I'll spend a little bit more time on this during the practice session. This is anatomy of the message. So when you are communicating, whether it's a newsletter that you send out, whether it's an email, or whether it's just whatever it might be, an invite, a brochure, your website. It's probably for web designers, it's going to be a website and blog, and email blast. So before we run out of time there, so the structure here, and you know what, I'll show it to you guys during the process. If we can just bring up the document by itself without me in the middle of the document there, so that I can show those. So self-identify, this is when you're writing. Self-identify, communicate the goal, communicate the value and the vibe, the results, and what, when, and where, and finally what the real value and the cost is. And real value meaning is you can't miss this because of this, right? Here's something that I put together for you guys, and I'll show it now in the examples, and then you can see it. We can talk a little bit more about it. I put together a calendar, a 30-day sales calendar, where you can actually have as a tracker in this poster every week. You can actually look at what activities you did. At least do 2 of them. You don't have to do all of them, but just track what you're doing every week. All right.
I totally agree.
So let's move on. Whew, that was fast.
And if I can share something real quick, in general, clients will, if you seem really busy and you're on top of stuff, clients will actually prefer to work with you than with somebody who seems like they're really not doing anything. And they'd actually prefer to wait to work with you if you seem like
Say
you're just
no.
really busy. And well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like if you're really busy, you're really consistent, you're posting, you're proving your expertise, clients will naturally gravitate to work with you, as opposed to like if you're not.
If you're active inherently, people will really.
And even if you're honest
to
to them and you're like, look,
I'm really busy,
they'll come back.
Oh yeah.
They'll come back.
Totally. That's an extremely good point. Thank you, Ari. So practice. Now we're going to spend 10 minutes going through practice, and practice is pretty awesome. Practica. We're going to actually do a case study. We're going to work on this together here, Ari, and it's going to be pretty fun. In Chinese?
实践
Repeat it.
实践
Wow. So before we start the practice session, I want to talk about this third segment. We're looking for one more sponsor for a practice session. Ari, who do you think would be a great sponsor for this section? And we put the logo really big. Wacom.
BMW.
No. Well, it's not
Yeah,
bad.
maybe.
Lynda.com, FreshBooks.
Yeah, FreshBooks.
There you go. Your logo
QuickBooks.
here. QuickBooks, that's an
Adobe.
interesting one. Adobe, that would be awesome to sponsor the practice segment. And here's some quotes from some of the folks that watch the show so that if you guys know, if you're one of the sponsors, potential sponsors. Seriously, the most structured and informative podcast I've ever seen. Thanks for providing. Thank you, Justin, for watching. I always wanted to do web design. Watching you is like going to the kitchen and having the chefs cook in front of you. It's also inspiring. It's inspiring. It's something I want to do and makes me excited. Thank you, Cheryl from Riverside. I hope you're watching today. And stick around after the show because we'll keep on going live and on Justin TV. Email me if you're a potential sponsor and you're interested in being that awesome sponsor for practice session, jose@thisweekend.com. Let me stop fiddling with my script here. All right, so let's do the final section. And this is going to be an interesting one because here's what I'm going to do. We're actually going to do, we're going to fill in for this AIGA profile. I'm busting out here my awesome keynote, and we're going to fill out another one of the columns in for these. So let's bring it back up. My screen, there we go. I'm going to bring this full screen. And Ari, help me out here. We're going to do this as customer. Tell me about your customers real quick.
My customers are mainly startups. They're local people most of the time. They usually have a need to, it's the means to an end thing. So they need something to promote their product or their business, and that usually comes in the form of a website or an app or just something that, requires a look and feel and requires some sort of interface and user experience.
Awesome. So right here, the customers in the case scenario of AIGA-LA are customers for a professional organization. And some of the basic things in kind of creating the customer profile, look at the actual data. How old do you think the person it is? In this case, Cindy Garcia, who is the customer here, she's an entrepreneur. I'll zoom in on it in a second, but Jason Calacanis' computer here is being a little slow. What the key to doing, and a lot of people ask me, like, what is the key to doing the profiling of a customer or of a user for a site? And a big part of it is, the ability for you, obviously, to channel, who the user is, but knowing their demographic information, gender, income, marital status is important to some degree. It helps to give context. For a case scenario of a services customer, it helps a little bit. Then also their story, their background, but really the goal and the needs are really the most important two things in it. And what I mean by that is, what I'm going to try to see if I can restart Keynote.
I like having the whole because it helps me, even the photo kind of helps me really
see them
and understand who they are.
It makes a huge difference, and I just killed Keynote. But the reason for the goals is really you want to know the motivation behind. So you don't want to necessarily, we know that you need a website, but why? Because that's what you're going to sell towards.
Right.
And your expertise needs to support the ability for you to execute, but it also needs to support you knowing why. And everything I read, I'm going to show you some quotes here that are pretty awesome now that Keynote is back and kind of on track. Here's some quotes, and then I'm going to go back to the example doing it, but I really want to show these quotes, so bring that up. If you don't know who your customers are, you won't know how to tell them about your product or service and how to get it to them. You need to know this. This is from USA Today, a great article on for small business, Know Your Customers. Here's another one from Wikipedia. A good value proposition will provide, that's the reason why. Why, Ari, what's the value proposition for you as a web designer?
The value proposition I provide is I create, it's on my site, I create just pixel perfect UIs for web experience.
Badass kind of execution, design, people just, and you're fast and
Right.
you're,
I tell stories through UI.
through UI. There you go. So you're kind of like a hybrid UI design,
Right.
graphic design. Right. So here's a final quote. It's time to establish an infrastructure in which sales and marketing are fully integrated and equally responsible for revenue generation. The reason why I have that quote in there for a web designer, what you do, the service that you provide and how you provide it and the quality of it is your number one product or your number one marketing component. Second to that is your portfolio, just showing it so people see it. And third is getting it to them. So getting it to them is about referrals and about going out.
Getting out there.
Getting out there.
Totally.
And having really consistent referrals. I give you very consistent referrals, right, of people, hey, here projects are that you can do.
Right.
And give you glowing reviews. So let's go back to, I'm going to go back to.
What's that saying? Like, if you want to get hit by a bus, you got to go.
Get in front of the bus? I made that up, and I think it's horrible.
I think it's awesome.
Who wants to get hit by a bus? Well, to get hit by a bus, you got to get in front of the bus first, or something like that.
That's true.
It's going to go in the annals of bad quotes made up by Puerto Rican people. All right. So let's actually go back to the. I'm gonna kind of top line this because we have about 4 minutes in the segment, and I want to kind of just show. Again, I want to do it for a customer who's actually. I'm going to freestyle real quick and do a customer that is a real customer. So let's do a customer similar to Bill Jones, by the way. Let's extrapolate Bill Jones and make him a customer for the school, for the new stuff that we're doing for the school. What about that, Ari? What do you think about that?
That sounds great.
That's a total shift in plans here in real time. So I'm going to call him another name. I'm going to call him James Williams. I'm making that up, guys, but I am seeing a James and I am seeing a Williams. I just made him African American for a reason specifically, because I'm thinking of the context of what's happening in my life now and in our leads, right? So enter and how I'm going to sell to them. I need to know, like, intelligence. So probably a little younger than this, 37, single, or actually divorced, and it's a startup. Actually, it's an entertainment startup. Let's call it that. We're in LA, so there's a bunch of these, and let's keep it at around the 120 range. So here it's innovative funded entertainment startup. Again, I'm making this up relative to the people that are already in our network, and that what are their goals? Their goals are to launch. Launch. Execute. Second to that is funding. They want to get funding, next founding round.
They want to get
next
exposure.
Funding round. They want to get exposure.
And traffic.
They want to build the business, right?
Right.
Build traction, basically.
Build traction.
But one thing that's really important that goes back into that, they don't want to fuck up. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Man, computers. All right, even with the computer choking, let's keep on going through that. What are his needs? So if basically, look, we're going to switch to analog here. If they want to build traction and they don't want to mess up, what are their needs? They need to know our experience. So they need expertise, right? What would that mean? What would expertise mean?
Do they have an existing following, or they don't? They need to.
No, they don't. They're pretty early, and they have competition. So they have to really. They need strategic insights. They need strategy insights. But the most important thing is that they need execution. They need resources and execution.
They need to iterate. It sounds like, because they don't really know what's going to work or not.
Execution. Okay, so based on that, let's actually really quickly. I'm going to use just that framework, which is great because. Now with the computer, which I should have restarted, which would have been smart. Keynote not responding. What's great is a Keynote actually has a great. Keynote should be our sponsor, even though Apple doesn't do much sponsoring. All right, I'll launch it again. What I was going to say is that I'm going to do the one thing that I really love, the whole value prop kind of. You know what? I was saving this for the end, but I want to do it right. I'm going to do it right now. Guys, can we bring up the anatomy of the message? Let's bring up my screen real quick. So the anatomy of the message, really from a structural standpoint, I didn't make this up. This is something that is age-old and lives across a lot of different things. Here's one of the places where it lives. Right? Let's show that video for just 30 seconds, 20 seconds. This is a funny video if you guys can still hear my audio.
Hi, Billy Mays here for the original Quick Chop. The fastest, easiest, safest way to chop, mince, or dice any vegetable guaranteed. Here's how it works. Just place the vegetable on the board, give it a tap, and you've got finely shredded cabbage in seconds for crunchy coleslaw. If you like salads, put all your ingredients in at the same time. Chicken salad, ham salad, even shrimp salad is all done with just a few taps. It has the power to chop nuts,
This is good. That's
almonds,
good. That's enough there. So Billy Mays, God bless his soul. So as crass as that is, and as you guys are going to say, yeah, I knew sales was kind of, evil. The reason why I wanted to show that is because the most distilled version of this, and that's why it seems so crass, is actually an infomercial. Self-identification. If you like salads, do you like salads, Art?
Right, I do like salads.
Everybody likes salads, you know what I mean? So I want to extend the segment just a little bit into our outro for just one more second. And I want to show this on my screen and be very specific. So if you take the structure and this is going back to, you need to write all these things down on these documents. If you take the structures and then you look at what specifically you're going to do across these channels, like right here you can't see it, but it's social media, here is blog, down here is events, right, for this particular, this is for you, Ari. What events are you going to go to?
Totally.
UX events, you're going to go to tech meetups, you're going to go to startup meetups. What kind of social media you're going to do? You're going to do Facebook and Twitter, probably, and you're going to blog a bit, if you can, or just do some postings. Reblogging.
Reblogging, absolutely. Just demonstrating your expertise and the things you like.
Talking about what you do, right?
Right.
So if you guys notice from me, I always use my Flipboard, and early in the morning, when I get up, instead of reading the paper, I read a little bit of Flipboard, and it's tuned to web design, business, creativity, and I try to balance it out based on the different audiences.
Right.
So the user profile I was going to do until the computer kiboshed me was of an executive, right? So if they're seeing what we're talking about, if they're seeing the show, they're going to then kind of say, hey, is this what we need or what we want? So if you like salads and you need to chop a salad, which we can translate.
And all the values were right there. Chop, mince, dice. It's right there.
It was
Super
all there.
clear.
Bam,
I was
bam.
just going to say, like something you just said about writing things down. Like I meet so many people, both clients and web designers, that they're like, I know all this stuff, but it's in my head. So you really have to get out. You really have to get all that information out onto like some sort of document or sort of framework so that you can start working with it and evolving it. If it just lives in your head, there's really, not a lot of places for it to go. You have to like let it out.
Amen, brother. That's exactly it. Write it down. Look at my screen. 30-day sales calendar. If you're a producer, only if you're a producer. If you're not a producer, you guys aren't getting any of this. But I'm going to give this to everyone who's a producer. Tweets today, blog posts, events, etc. Which one, or notes, your date, check it. It's like a gym kind of workout. All right. So remember what? Bring that back up, Michelle. So thank you, guys. Let's talk about the stickers. Now, stickers. Bring up all those stickers up there. This is exciting. I want you guys to participate. Ask us for stickers on Facebook or on Twitter. What happens if you ask us for stickers? You win a T-shirt potentially. Every week we draw a new This Week in Web Design T-shirt. Just put a sticker on your computer or on something else. Yes, I will. Tweet your picture with the hashtags WebDesign and TWI WebDesign, and you're going to be entered. You can order your free stickers by tweeting us at twiwebdesign.net, and we'll send you the link. Okay, come back to me real quick, and then every week here we selected out of this, I think it's an Urban Outfitters bag, but
Urban Outfitters.
We're going to select the name of the people who actually put sticker pictures on Facebook. And mix it around.
Mix
It's
it
like
around.
Vanna White or the lottery. Who was the winner, Ari?
Robert Haydock.
Robert Haydock, ladies and gentlemen. First producer. There you go. Applause, applause, applause. Thank you, Robert.
He's been participating since the get-go.
Day one, Robert has been a producer. Awesome guy. We're going to announce next week what the new producers program is going to look like. I made it just for Cheryl Anderson specifically. I made the producers program. That's called customer development. We're just really making the show for you. So I want to say thank you guys for watching. I want to say a big thank you to Chrometa. Thank you so much, Chrometa. We really love you with all our hearts. We hope to talk to them soon again. I also want to thank our media partner, How Interactive Design. The conference is going to be off, I don't want to say chain nor hook. It's going to be awesome because I'm helping plan it. GoDaddy, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. And maybe if you call us or email me about being a sponsor, join us live next week. And again, same time, 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern. And check your local listings or your local time zones. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, Google+, and Twitter. and more importantly, when you go to the Facebooks, if you bring that slide up, not only should you like us, but you can vote on the topic for next week, or you can vote on the details. What's important to you? We do that every week. It helps us. And on YouTube, you're always going to see on the episodes all the resources that we have here. Ari, give me some closing words on sales. You need advanced sales, by the way. You're in a different problem. You have too many leads.
Right.
So,
which is a good thing. I mean, it just goes to show, like, you do a good job consistently over a certain amount of years, and all the people that I've met, being at the group, it pays off, But then now it's, what do I do with all this, and how do I balance what's coming in versus the resources that I have to get it done?
Well, get the network involved. Get Cheryl Anderson.
Actually,
and
yeah,
all these people to help you.
I'm going to reach out to. I did already.
You reached out to Janice in Latvia. He's a very good designer, by the way.
He's doing amazing work. He just did his own iPhone game.
Oh, I saw it, and it's been doing really well.
Yeah.
Janice, congratulations on your new
Janice.
iPhone game.
Yeah.
And I'm getting the signal here to wrap up. Thank you guys for watching. Stick around right here, right after the show. We're going to talk live for the next 15, 20 minutes and answer your questions. Otherwise, tune in again next week live. Try to tune in live. See you next week, and you watch us work.